The honor means a lot due to the fact that I came here as a spectator, not knowing much about boats and not really realizing there was boats like this out there, and then becoming a mechanic and learning as much as I could from all the awesome people around here to eventually being a Top Gun and a Hall of Fame recipient is pretty cool. Well, it's a 20-year story, but as far as how it started is parents had a lake house down here, come down a couple weekends of summer through high school, knew a little bit about boats. They had a little Formula 242 and went to the Shootout with a buddy one weekend, actually after, probably 1999. And when that happened, I had never realized there was all these cool boats out there. So my mom had always told me that, hey, we can never get anybody to work on our boat. And I always took it as a grain of salt, whatever, And I had a mechanical ability. I just never had the right schooling or whatever it took. So she had told me that, hey, there's a tech school down there. You should go by and look at it. So Shootout, Saturday, Sunday, 99, 2000, one of those years. And ended up going there, meeting Larry Whitrock at the LCTC. Started class that Wednesday so a lot of stuff happened on Monday, Tuesday. Went home, told my girlfriend I'm leaving, quit my job, all that, moved to the lake, lived on chicken breasts and baked potatoes for a year and went to school. And from there, learned a lot about marine mechanics. Worked at Advanced Marine right out of tech school. From there, Matt and Steve are awesome guys at Advanced Marine. So after that happened, Dave Scott was one of their customers, and he was getting ready to go big time into boat racing. And so he goes, hey, you want to go? And me being in my early 20s and not married, not having kids, heck yeah, I want to go. So we did years of 16 to 20 events a year, from Anheuser-Busch conventions to boat races to all kinds of cool stuff. So traveling all over the country through my 20s, getting to learn all this cool boat stuff, getting to meet a lot of cool people that taught me what they knew and shared secrets or, just regular conversation. After that, won multiple world championships and Top Guns with Dave Scott. After that had all happened. 2008 happened. InBev bought Anheuser-Busch, lost our sponsorship, so we went to working on customers' boat, build a pretty good clientele at Naughty Marine. So when that happened, we had some pretty elite customers from Naughty Marine with some really extreme boats. Performance Boat Center, new on the scene, wanted they still do. They want to be the best in the nation. So at that point, they took me and my crew and our customers, and they purchased Naughty Marine, and we moved to the 21-mile marker, which, how odd, 21-mile marker comes back into play from my first time being at a Shootout to now working there. And we have an unbelievable service department, unbelievable sales department at Performance Boat Center, and that's 5 or 6 years ago now. So at the time we got started, won the Top Gun with Don Elkin, happened to be that year. So icing on the cake to everything that was happening. Mark and Brett said, hey, let's go boat racing, more Mark. We went boat racing, we won some world championships, we won some national championships. Now we have 2 boats that race. Won another national championship last year in the stock boat, which Wright Performance is one of our key brands, and we actually do all the rigging and painting and everything there at the shop. So lots of learning, and I guess that's about it. Now we're here, 2020. So if I had a favorite memory about the Shootout, it would probably have to be getting in a 36-foot skater that had what the engine builder told us around 3,400 horsepower. And I had never been in the boat to even get it on plane. I knew how, I talked to Johnny and he told me how it was gonna react and things like that. So most of the time when you get told that you're next up, you get all in, buckled in, you actually kind of do a loop around to get your bearings, get the boat on plane, get to your 40 mile per hour. Flags are going up and down from the boat telling you to slow down, speed up, and then you get to nail it and do your pass. At the time we went to go get it on plane, I'm like looking over at Johnny like, what's wrong? And he goes, well, I kind of wondered if it would do this, if it'd have a problem getting on plane. And I go, okay, so what do you mean we're not gonna get on plane? And he goes, it just has some turbo lag and all this stuff. And he goes, go out and get on the nose. And I'm like, well, you're joking, right? Get on the nose of the boat? I'm like, life jacket, helmet, cords plugged in. He goes, no, go out there, get out there. So I run out, unhook everything, jump, this is an open boat, jump out, get on the nose of the boat, and my 180 pounds breaks the boat over, it gets on plane. So now we're on plane, I'm running back into the cockpit and sit down, get in there. So, and I was like, man, that was kind of wild just in itself. Turn around and he's whacking the throttles, getting it all, the turbos heated up. We come around and less than 30 seconds later, we're doing 195 in a 36-foot boat, going through the traps, see over 200 after we leave the traps, but then slow down, like, that was wild, you know, from not knowing if we were gonna get on plane to almost 200 miles an hour through the Shootout in a open boat that you'd never driven before, ever, was pretty extreme. And I would have to say that was a pretty exciting moment in the whole Shootout. It's mind-blowing as far as what it does for especially the fire departments and all the people that receive the money that it helps through the charities. I'm really excited to be part of that. It'd be neat to know the number through all the years. It's got to be in the millions, of course, but for millions of dollars to be raised, for all the spectators to come and spend their money with all of the people around here, from everything from like us in the marine industry to people that are lodging it, to people that are feeding them, all that. It's just a great deal for that to happen. And the Midwest, and you know, I call it the Riviera of the Midwest, to get notoriety on how cool it is. Well, the fans and the volunteers, I'd say that's the coolest. There's been some boats to where I'm not doing as much, whether I'm just holding the throttle down and knowing exactly what it'll do. I'll take a second to look out and go, you know, and to the guy that's concentrating, you know, because I'll be holding the throttles like watching the tacks, and I'll look out there for a second. I'll go, you wouldn't believe all the people that are watching this thing, you know? And at that point, it's a different feeling to know that there's all these people out there that came to watch you, and that's really neat. I've been to races where a lot of people are watching, but one boat at a time is pretty neat to see one boat at a time going through, and that boat to get everybody's full attention at that point. First time I was told that I'm racing the plane, I thought it was pretty goofy. Just to let you know, I'm like, racing a plane, you know? He's like, yeah, he'll come up beside you and, you know, hold it wide open and he'll stay with you. And I was like, yeah, but I see this guy drop out of the sky. He's got a lot of speed on me already, you know? So of course I'm already being the competitive boat racer guy. But there's times I've even done it with my phone to where I'm wide open, just like I said, watching the spectators. I look out and I was like, he's right there. So I grab my phone, aim it at the window, and he looks out and he gives me one of these, you know, and that plane's like sideways, blowing smoke out, tire right there, wing right there. It's pretty intense, and it's neat to have that type of experience that you would never get if you weren't doing that. So it's really neat that you go, where'd he go? And then the next thing you turn around, you're flying back the other way, there he is. You know, it's a neat deal. There's so many. I could not, the people that stand out to me, or anybody who's let me run or told me they want me to run their boat, and it can be from Don Unkin to the first person that ever let me run one, Kevin Nowak. So Kevin Nowak was my first 42 fountain. I've been with the Bat Boat, Elliott Gray. I've been in so many different boats So all those people, I know if I didn't even mention your name, it means so much that you thought I was good enough to run your boat. Matt and Steve, them being ate up with a shootout. I can remember being in Advanced Marine in their little office, and the whole wall, all the way around, maybe 4 plaques high, as many as you can remember, all being shootout plaques. So that's big time. Dave Scott, of course, because I don't know how many Top Guns he won. It was a lot, but being part of that was big time. So Dave Scott, my mom, because the fact that she actually said, go do it, and you needed somebody to tell you that. You just don't necessarily, in your early 20s, like, hey, leave the state, go to school, and then start a career like in the next 6 months, or 8 months. So mom, later on my wife and all my kids, my kids don't even realize like their dad's a boat racer. They think it's cool, but it's like their friends come over like, that's your dad, it's cool, So family, of course, friends, family, Performance Boat Center, Mark and Brett, Dave Scott, Don Unkin, all the Johnny Tomlinson for giving me all the knowledge and all the experience with all that stuff. So it's endless. All the mechanics that I've worked with. So it's Ron Dugan for nominating me and telling me for years that you're going to get there and you're going to be in there. So yeah, so it's a neat deal. I'm Myrick Coil with Performance Boat Center. I am being inducted into the 2020 Shootout Hall of Fame.